Hi, my name is Nikki, and today my video response will be directed toward video clip 2.2, Functionalis and Conflict Perspective of Adult Education. Analysis questions. During this video, I will reflect on the following analysis questions. What is functionalism and conflict theory? What are the goals of functionalism and conflict theory? Who are the main theorists who contributed to both theories? And how is adult education described by both theorists? I believe functionalism sees society as an integrated whole. I like this perspective as it really promotes collaboration amongst learners, which may help enhance an individual's knowledge. Conflict theory, I believe, is the opposite of functionalism, where inequality is made due to inequalities such as social and political stances. In regards to adult education, an example of inequality can be based on the different amounts of education someone has compared to someone else. What is functionalism? Based on the assumption that society and institutions within a society is made up of interdependent parts, all working together to maintain equilibrium. If these social institutions are organized around a core set of values, functionalists assume that society will operate smoothly and efficiently. What is functionalism? Study the ways that each part in the system contributes to the system's overall operation. Focuses on the ways that each of these social institutions helps the larger social system to operate efficiently. After learning about functionalism, I realized I relate a lot to this theory. As a learner, I tend to learn better through socialization. Also, I look at society, and I now know that the government enforces societal norms and regulates conflict to help society run smoothly. Functionalis perspectives on education. Amy Lee Durkheim's theoretical position was that education has three basic functions. Number one would be the socialization function, where education is a secondary agent of socialization, through where individuals learn important aspects of their culture, including values, norms, and roles. Number two would be selective function, where functionalis views the education system as being like a filter, grading students according to their ability and placing individuals in occupational roles best suited to their abilities. Number three would be the economic function, where education is seen to teach the skills and knowledge necessary for work in a modern, technical, and industrial society. Functionalis perspective on adult education. The role of adult education is to teach the necessary skills and norms for the individuals to participate in society by sorting, selecting, and training people for jobs at each level in society. By doing so, this helps fill positions that require fulfillment. However, I believe this can lead to conflict theory because working classes can gradually form and can affect the level of interaction that occurs in society. Conflict theory is derived based on ideas made by Karl Marx and Max Weber. Conflict theory argues that society is best understood as a competition over resources rather than a complex system striving for equilibrium. It is based on the assumption that every society is a system of relationships and social arrangements that are shaped by economic factors. There are struggles between social classes competing for scarce resources and for a better distribution of resources. Conflict theory is deeply emphasized by economic power, and changes are only possible only if workers become aware of the need for change and take actions to major changes in the organization of economy. Conflict theory. The following are three primary assumptions of conflict theory. Number one is competition. Competition over scarce resources is at the heart of all social relationships. Number two would be structural inequality. Inequalities in power and reward are built into social structures. Individuals and groups that benefit from any particular structure strive to see it maintained. And lastly, number three is social change. Change occurs as a result of conflict between competing interests rather than through adaptation. Conflict theory and education. Education is shaped by economic forces and used by economically powerful people to increase their wealth and influence. The education system reinforces and perpetuates social inequalities arising from differences in class, gender, race, and ethnicity. Education is a powerful means of maintaining power structures, reinforcing the privileged positions of the dominant group. Conflict theory and adult education. Adult education can include an element of conflict and inequality, which leads to favoring the wealthy over the poor. And to end off my video response, I will be answering a series of synthesis questions to help me reflect on this video clip. Some questions such as, what are key features of functionalism and conflict theory? What are the similarities and differences between functionalism and conflict theory? How does functionalism and conflict theory view education in general? And what is the purpose of adult education as viewed through the functionalist and conflict theory perspective? I believe some differences between functionalism and conflict theory are that functionalism focuses on how people come together to create society and prevent dysfunction. However, conflict theory has a strong focus on class segregation. Inequality has a very strong presence. However, similarity between both theories are that they agree that the rich has power over the poor. I believe the purpose of adult education in functionalism is that functionalism views adult education should be available to all, as everyone is seen as equals. However, conflict theory views adult education to be only granted to those who can afford it and those of higher class.